be together.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 3 of season 2 for Sunset City. My name is One City Santa, Blake Henderson. Joining me today is the Godfather Con, the underboss Chris, Soldier Daniel and Cochieri Jack. How are you boys?
Good, living the dream.
That's good. As you can see, these beautiful tops that me and Con are wearing, you can order it yourself through the Godfather if you like one. And if Con can show us the back for us, please. There you go, with the logo on the back there as well. Today, guys, let's jump straight into it. A massive win against the hashtag not a derby, West United boys. I think, we were 1-0 down and we came back and won 2-1. So, Godfather, your thoughts first off.
Mate, what a game of football. The boys, I don't think the boys deserved to go down 1-0 at the start. But yeah, we kept on fighting and it was a good result in the end. Shows that fighting spirit.
Just to let everyone know, it was our first game back at Amy Park in over 305 days, I believe. So that was good to be back there. Underboss, your thoughts?
It was, first of all, it was really good to actually walk back into Amy Park after over 300 days. And then the excitement of the game that we had, like Godfather said, being 1-0 down and then come back to win 2-1. It was amazing.
Exactly, Newman.
It was just really good to be back at Amy Park, sitting in our seats, in our section, and just watching a good game of football.
Jack, sorry, you got to take it.
Look, I've got to tell you that obviously the whole lead up, going back to Amy was pretty much like it was a huge week.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going back home. We're going to watch a game live. The whole thing, right? And in a way, like it took a long time to really hit me. And I think it's when I caught up before you guys outside of Amy, where I thought, yes, it's happening. And I think what made it was, firstly, all of us getting together. Okay. I know we see each other, outside the stadium, but being, at the Mecca was special. You, Blakey, just popping up out of nowhere, with your safety vest on and your new uniform, right? We're thinking it's happening. Blakey's in his high vis gear. It's happening. We're actually about to step into the stadium. But yeah, it was absolutely, it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. And then obviously I know we're going to talk about something else late, during the show, but I know that the Monday morning, and we'll talk about that later, I was virtually a spent force physically and also mentally.
Exactly right. My thoughts is it was great to be back at the church of Amy Park. Been a long time coming. I literally, when I first walked in the room, I had a tear in my eye, saying, "I'm back. But we'll forget about that. Good win by the boys. Good. Craig D getting on the score sheet. What a goal that was. And also, it was world class. But I reckon that tender for the team goal of the year has to be that second one, which is Jamie McLaren. That was just a brilliant piece of counter-attacking football. And congratulations to PK on picking up his first win as head coach at Amy Park. So, congratulations to you, sir. On to the W League girls. They had 2 games. We already spoke about the first home game against Fitri, but the second game against Fitri out of Epping the day after the Western United game, from 1-0 down to winning 3-2. No, 3-2. Yeah. 3-2. So sorry, wrong way around. 2-0 up at halftime, winning 3-2. I wasn't at the game, I was watching it, so I'm going to go, Con, you were walking in as the first goal winning. How was that?
Alex was running in, she dodged and weaved, and she kicked the goal, and I was like in front of the victory cheer squad, and look, things were said.
And gestures were made.
Gestures and arms going everywhere.
Yeah, some
After-
nice hand gestures.
Yes.
I
We're
believe
going-
you went like that when we scored. She
Yeah,
scored, and I see.
it was-
we
no,
can see
look, the
those-
girls, mate. Like I said to Riley at the end of the game, I said, "What did you take your Terminator pills?" You know, she was like, that bump she did. She was just the girls were focused, and I'm so proud of them. They went out there copping a whopping the week before and just showing, you know what, man, we're not what you think we are. Here, cop this, and put victory back in their little bubble. That was awesome.
Totally agree there. And Chris and Newman, I believe you guys were walking in as well as that first goal with it.
Yes, and just being able to shove it up Victory's cheer squad there as we walked past, it was really good.
Well, it was part of the birth of. It was like how to say, a baptism for the Sons of City, because we did cop some S19 crew banging from them, so they know we're about now.
Yeah.
So it was our baptism of fire.
Newman?
Agreed, but the best thing was when we walked in. It just worked out perfectly.
Jackie boy?
Wow. So we were probably about 2 or 3 minutes behind Con and Chris and Newman, okay? So we sort of heard the excitement that the girls had scored, okay? So myself, my wife, Josh, as we walked past the victory squad, the one finger salute went up to these pricks. And then as we went around, we scored the second goal. So 2-0 up, right? And it was just delirium. Obviously, like I said, fantastic game, okay? And and I guess now this is where the emotion comes into it, okay? Those girls in that game there, they did what I thought was going to be the impossible, okay? The week before, they were humiliated, but in saying that, the girls still had their heads up. They didn't stop trying, they had their heads up. At the end of the game, I remember seeing a lot of their faces, and I thought, they don't deserve this. It's a whole new team. They don't deserve this, okay? Especially the abuse from, I guess, our so-called fans in the social media, right? But Jesus Christ, they answered back in the best way possible. And I guess the highlight for me was what Riley Dobson did at the end, bringing the girls over to us, and how appreciative the girls and the coach were of the fact that they had support. But probably the ugly spot was, once again, you know, our so-called rivals, the active area, they disgraced themselves again.
Yeah,
Disgraced the game,
So,
not just themselves, the game.
and you know, you said you're right on the money there, Con, because my wife was actually talking to a lot of the Victory fans, right? Which I gotta say, I hate Victory, but it's not every fan from Victory that I hate. It's virtually a certain section that actually spoil the game for everybody, right? And even those Victory fans, those families which were behind us, which they didn't understand what was going on. It was actually thanks to Newman that he actually went on KO Sports and told them what was happening to our goalkeeper. Where they're actually going like, this is a disgrace. And we got kids here, and our own so-called active area is behaving in a way which is appalling and pathetic. So, you know, no offense to any Melbourne Victory supporter, it's not targeted at you guys, it's actually targeted at those, you know, handful of morons, correct, right? They actually go out there and ruin the game, and again, bring this sport, which we're trying to build up, you know, and put visual, right, into disrepute, because that's all it takes. I mean, virtually that night when we went to Costa's house, it was already in the paper and on the ABC, the behavior of football fans. No, they're not football fans. We're the football fans.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I hope the league has done something with that, and we won't go on with it a little bit anymore. Let's leave it into the appropriate officials to deal with the people.
I'll say one last thing. Grow up, you fuckwits. Grow up, because you're wrecking the game.
Exactly, and I just want to say one more thing about that game. I believe Jackie now has a new favourite in the W League by the name of Tori.
Actually, that's two. Come on, that's two. Firstly, yeah, Tori Termouth, she's unbelievable. Okay, versatile player. She's also a captain for the Matilda team. She impressed me quite a lot, and I kind of felt a little bit sad when she actually got off the field. But the other one is Tegan Micah. She's a Buffon fan. Amazing goalkeeper, absolutely amazing
What
goalkeeper.
did you do with your?
And this now goes into the emotion part. Okay, so we went there to support the girls. The girls acknowledged that. Riley went and got Tegan Micah to come over. She noticed that I was wearing a Juventus pendant on my necklace. She actually touched it. We shook hands. She's gone like, Juventus fan. I said, "Are you a Juventus fan?" She goes, "Buffon's number one." Fuck yeah. That was her very words, right? And you know what? I was stoked. I was absolutely stoked when she said that. So if I could actually meet Mr. Buffon, I would try and introduce it to our own Tegan Micah. So
Too easy. And nothing against our number one Riley Dobson, but
definitely.
Jack has a new favourite now. And
Riley's always going to be on top of the tree.
Look,
one, mate.
Riley's got a very big decision to make, actually, Blake. So we talked about it on.
We'll leave that until we get further confirmation from the girl herself. So we won't continue on to that. Speaking of games coming up, they did play Brisbane a week later up in Brisbane, suffering a 2-0 defeat. Riley did go down with a little bit of a head knock.
2-1, not 2-0.
Oh, 2-1, sorry. 2-1, sorry.
Emma scored that ripper header.
Yeah. Gemma Coleman. But we wish Riley a hopeful recovery, and hopefully she is playing on Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, doubleheader at Amy Park. Let's start off with the W League since they are playing first. 4:05 p.m. actually against Brisbane again. So here we go, boys.
Hey, we played Adelaide the week before.
The girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Adelaide. Sorry. So we're playing Brisbane again. I think, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We play Perth. So, boys, what are you looking forward to this match?
Being at Amy Park watching the girls.
A good contest.
Look, the girls are going to have an advantage. The Sons of City are going to be in Section 19, losing our minds, screaming and chanting for them. And I do believe we are their 12th man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Costa, on that one.
So do I.
If we could travel, okay, both the men and the women will get our support virtually around Australia, and with Champions League football coming as well, internationally as well. I wish we could do that. I really could. I wish we could do that. Okay. I'm expecting the girls to come out fighting after the loss. And yeah, playing at Amy, yeah, I can see them actually pulling off a win.
Chris?
Yeah, I think if we were able to travel, it'll be a full-time job for all of us. Just traveling with them, to be their number one cheer squad.
Well, we are, because the thing that upsets me the most, sorry, Chris, is that
go for it.
all these city supporters that are on other city pages have got a word to say about the way our girls are playing, but asking if they've gone to a girls' game.
Yeah.
The active area doesn't even turn up for a girls' game.
That's right. But they've got everything to say about our girls. When they win, when they're winning championships, they're there. They can another story another day.
Yeah, exactly. So, predictions of that game really quickly. We'll start with you, Godfather.
I think, like Jack said, we're going to come out firing, and I reckon we'll win 2-0.
2-0, Underboss?
I reckon 2-1.
Yeah, Chris? Newman, sorry.
2-0 our way.
Jackie boy?
Do the girls actually watch this show? Have you
Might
introduced the
pass it-
girls to this?
I might pass it on to Riley when it comes
Okay.
to life.
So this is my prediction. Riley, please score a goal for us. Okay. I'm going to go 2-1 with Riley on the scoreboard. Okay. And the winner to come in the 89th minute from Tori. She's going to come forward. It'll be a corner. She'll place herself well. Bang, back in the net. And section 19, that's where you celebrate.
I'm gonna say a 1-0 win and some effort Johnson to score the winner just for Costa.
Sammy
Yeah, to
Jones.
celebrate, it's 19 corner.
Yeah.
Even if they're scoring the opposite end, they have to run over to our side.
Yeah.
100.
Uh,
Yeah. Goal scorers, guys, for you three, you didn't say.
I reckon. Hey,
Yeah.
right.
It's in J. Riley.
yeah, I was going to go Riley, and maybe if Gemma's playing, maybe Gemma McCormack.
Newman.
Riley and Emma Checker with 1.
And let's just say for Jack's sake, I'll go 2-0, put Tory Turner thing just for you, all right?
You're a good guy, Blake.
All right, so predictions are a City win with an average of 2-0. Hopefully that is the case on Sunday. Actually, Mum, your predictions for Sunday. If you want to talk really loud real quick.
2-1
No.
win.
There you go. You hear that?
Hey,
Yeah,
Jack, what's Josh's predictions?
Joshy, the prediction for the girls' match. We're playing against Brisbane. Is that right? You're playing against Brisbane.
Oh no, they lost. Oh no, they beat them 6-0, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's victory. Victory don't care. 2-2 from Josh. And who's scoring?
Kira and Cheetah.
Who? Kieran Cheetah.
What's her name? Kira?
The
Chinatsu
Alex.
Kira, yeah, and Chidia.
Chidia.
You know what? That's the one girl that I forgot to mention. She's also an amazing pickup.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing pickup. She's like a little pocket dynamo everywhere on the field. Good on her. You know, good pickup.
Easy. All right, now on to the fixture that is following that, which I call the closer of the mega. No, I'm just joking, Jermo, if you say this. The men's game against Perth Glory, Bruno Fornaroli returning, and Tando Valapi returning back to Amy Park. They nearly put victory to shame last weekend. So, Godfather, what are you expecting the score prediction?
It's going to be a tough game. Again, is where our chances are going to come from. Who's going to create our chances? We know that Jamie can put them away. We know that Noon can score. We just need players like players to create chances and be free. I think it's not going to be a walk in the park, but I reckon we can win, and we can win comfortable too. If they play right football, and we get Jamo back this week too, and the big Portuguese boy in the squad.
Oh, yeah.
And
I reckon he'll start on the bench. I don't think he'll come straight in. And Underboss?
Yeah, I reckon we'll win. It'll be a tough game, but we should win 1-0.
Soldier?
2-0 win to us, and it'll be a tough win.
Jackie Boy, without the calculator in mind, your thoughts?
We seem to struggle a lot against Perth. Once we go into the class of stats, I'll be able to actually give you guys some numbers. But it's always a tough game against them, and when we do win, they are hard for wins.
Mhm.
I like to think that we can pull this off. I agree with you, Costa. The goals again, the creativity, where's that going to come from? I think we'll pull it off 1-0. I'll go for simple scoreline. But yeah, they're just tough games. And the one thing that I always take my hat off is that Bruno is a proven goal scorer. and he's also proved himself to be a gentleman out on the field too, where he obviously scored against us, but true, to the man that he is, never really celebrated against us. Didn't do anything. The Kilkenny factor, if he's playing, I think he holds a personal hate, not towards the club, but probably towards the club management. I mean, that's what I see when he plays. He just tends to lift that extra notch. So, but I still think we can pull it off.
Scoreline, sorry.
I'm going with a 1-0 win.
1-0 win. Okay, too easy. My thoughts are, is again, like you guys said, tough game is always a tough game against Perth, especially when we're playing them away, but even more at home. I think the most recent freaking score is usually a 3-3. So I'm going to say a 3-2 City win.
The thing that's probably in our favour is the fact that I think they played Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing again on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's 3 games in 7 days.
Yeah.
It's a lot of football I know it might not be a lot of football for European clubs, for Australian clubs, that's a lot of football. You'll see they'll come out firing, I think, early on, and as the game gets older, they'll get more tired, and it all falls down to their rotation too.
Yeah,
we might see a different lineup lining up against us that Victory had.
Yeah.
So I think that could work in our favour if we manage that correctly too.
The one thing I do say is, do they play Tendo again? Because he had a cracking game against the Victory.
But isn't there other keeper injured?
Reading, I don't know.
I think he is. That's why Valapi's in goals.
Okay. But if Valapi pulls that kind of saves off again against us, we could be in trouble here. But again, 3-2 scoreline. It's always a high scoring game when it's us versus Perth. So, it's goal scorers time, Con.
And I'd just say something before that. The young players, if they step up like they did against Western United, it's going to be a ripper of a game.
The way that Craig Noon played against Western United, I reckon that's probably his best game with us for a long time. I'm hoping that he can carry on that form, and I think he'll be my 1-0 win. I think he'll be the sole scorer.
Jamie won and Gamuka won.
Chris?
I'm going to go a little bit left field. So I reckon Florent might score one.
Godfather?
You got to go for your front three, man. You got to go Jamie, Noon, and who's playing on the other wing now?
Zaki.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, he might even score. I reckon he's itching. If he scores, he's going to be on fire. He wants to score. You could see it. So I reckon. Yeah, I reckon he'll do well too.
Okay, so again, our predictions are a City win against the Perth boys. I reckon they're hubbing in Melbourne at the moment, so they'll probably be still in their hotel right now, having a little bit of a break and training here as well. Time for the favourite time of the week. It's the gimmick I love the best. It's Jack's Calculator.
Well, let's probably begin with one of the things that you said there, Blake, about high-scoring games between Perth and Melbourne City. Yeah, 100% right. The two teams between them have scored 113 goals between them, right? So you're 100% right. Unfortunately, the goal tally is not healthy for us. It's overwhelming for Perth. The most frequent result, believe it or not, in a match that actually produces a lot of goals is actually a 0-0 scoreline.
Oh.
And that's happened 4 times. But you sort of mentioned the 3-3 draw. That's only occurred once.
Right.
But that's okay. That's okay.
It was
right?
a guess.
That's not a dig, okay? That's not a dig. But when you look at it, 39 games, out of 39 games, only 4 times to be draw. There's been a 0-0 draw. So for 35 games, there's been goals.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first fact in the calculator, the head-to-head record, and it reads as following. So 39 matches played, 10 wins, 11 draws, and Perth with 18 wins. City with 48 goals and Perth 65. So that's not really healthy to begin with. Head-to-head in the A-League record, again, not healthy from Melbourne City either. 33 matches, 8 wins to us and 15 to Perth. Goal tally, 43 to us and 54 to Perth. So, again, even though it's a little bit closer in the goal tally in the A-League, again, Perth have got that overwhelming win factor. I'm looking at this season's A-League record, for matches that both teams have played. Perth, I have got a really, they've got a bad record, absolutely bad record. They played 3 games, 1 win, 2 losses, scored 10, conceded 10. So I'm thinking, if we go with pace, I think we can actually break the Perth defence and probably get our goals, tally a little bit up. But as you said, Costa, as well, they played a couple of games in succession. What does it mean to the older players in the team? The fact that they're in Melbourne, okay, so they're not going up and down. They're situated in Melbourne. What does it mean as well? So that's the other X factor. If I put in the overall A-League record, so that's all the matches that the teams have played in the A-League since both teams came into the competition. Obviously, Perth have played more games than Melbourne City. Interesting enough, Perth's goal tally is 579 goals scored and 586 conceded. So that's quite incredible to when we talk about a team that has played so many games and scored so many goals, but they've conceded a lot of goals as well. So once I put all these details into the calculator, I've also put in the key factor that Con mentioned, the fact that this is their 3rd game in under 7 days. Is that right, Con?
Yep, correct.
I think you guys also mentioned the aging bodies as well. Then the big factor for us, Jamo's back. Okay, our captain's back. So I like to think that with the great man at the helm, our defense is going to look much stronger. I'll put in the Craig Noon factor. If he gives us another blinder, we're in. Kolakowski, another player that can change with his pace. Marco Tilia, another player as well. The calculator's been kind and has picked, believe it or not, a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
So,
What about if you throw in the big Portuguese?
Well, I don't know much about him. So there's 2 key factors missing, okay? There's the referee one, okay? So I'll tell you what I can do. Blake, you're probably the best person to actually, give me these details. Who do you think might actually referee this game?
Sean Evans.
Okay, so let's bring up a few interesting patterns about Mr. Sean Evans. Get through that. Okay, where are you, Shawnee? Here he is. So, Mr. Sean Evans, he's taken charge of 23 of our games. It's not good if he's actually going to be our referee because we've only won 8 times with him. 8 wins, 4 draws, 11 losses. So if I put those details in the calculator,
is that including the Western United game as well?
Yes.
That he just refed it. So.
Yeah. So
Muted. Gone.
How many games has he refed against us in Perth?
Okay, let's bring those stats up. So we picked Sean. Now I can just tell you by just putting his record against us, the scoring went Melbourne City 1, Perth Glory 3. Okay. So go to opponent. Okay. Oh no! You don't want this. You don't want this. He's refereed us 6 times against Perth Glory. We have yet to win under his.
No.
Okay, so 2 draws, 4 losses. Now, if you put that in here, 4-1 Perth.
Oh.
Guys, but then again, I'm going to throw a twist, and I'm going to put in the Costa factor. Okay. So, well, I think Con's actually touched on 2 key elements. Okay, so how's Perth going to go playing 3 games in 7 days? Okay. City now is actually up 3-1. Okay, based on their performance. Okay, now what I'm going to put in is we're going to go into this match virtually a full strength minus Andrew on the boot. Okay, I won't bring the Portuguese guys because we haven't seen him play, so we don't know absolutely nothing about this guy. Okay, so we get Gemma.
Do we get Atkinson back?
Blakey?
Reports yet? No reports yet.
No reports yet.
Okay. I tell you what, I'm gonna put in a 5-factor. So 5 out of 5 is the best you can get. Okay, so I'm gonna put in a 5-factor for the way Craig Noon played. The fact that Gemma's back, I'm gonna give that also a 5 because he's gonna give us that extra bite in defense. I think we were all impressed with Kolakowski, the way that he played.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give him a 3 because he's going to come off the bench. So he's not going to play the entire game. And then against it, I'm going to give it a 4 for Bruno because I reckon that I don't think he's going to have the legs to last the entire game. Would I be right in saying that?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. I think we killed Kenny. I'm going to have to give him a 5 because, like I said, he's the hatred. Melbourne City 4, Perth Glory 2. I reckon this could be virtually the scoreline on Sunday because their defense didn't look that strong. We've got pace up front. You're right, Con. Who's going to create the goals? I think if Berenguer is allowed to play his number 10 role, and gets to distribute that ball accordingly, the likes of Noon, McLaren, Luna, especially in the first half. Second half, you probably take Noon off, say, around maybe the 65th, 70th minute, bring Kolakowski, fresh legs, a young kid that wants to impress. I reckon Thiele will come back in as well. There's an extra pace. Question mark on Atkinson. So if Nathaniel actually gets in, right, there's pace and there's somebody that's hungry, right? Hasn't played a game this season, so he's hungry.
And Galloway goes out then.
I can tell you right now, I can see the scoreline that I'm seeing now, I can actually see it on Sunday.
Yeah.
I can see it because, yeah, Perth I don't think Perth have got the legs to actually last the entire game. And if we get an early goal, and then if we're able to double it probably, minutes later, I think Perth are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's the key too. It's if Perth, because you said they're based in Melbourne, they don't have to travel up or down. They train.
Yeah.
That might help them a bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 3 games, especially for Australian football, 3 games in 7 days. I think they're going to That's my opinion. I'm saying what I think, but you never know. We could. They could take this loss against Victory to heart, and they said, you know what, man, we're here in Melbourne now. Let's show City what we're about now. You know what I mean? They could take that loss as a hunger to show them like our girls did a few weeks ago when we got thumped by Victory, and they came back the week after and thumped Victory themselves. You know what I mean? So you don't know, but I think it's going to be hard for them playing 3 games in 7 days.
We do have a very special guest with us at the moment. If the caretaker could come to the desk real quick, please. Caretaker, please.
Jack, what are Josh's scoreline and prediction for the men's game?
Okay. I'll be right back to
that. The caretaker, just real quick, we'll let you get back to your seat. No, you're going to fall over if you do that. Our W League and A League teams are playing this weekend. What's your scoreline for the W League?
Who are they playing?
Brisbane, yeah.
They might lose, sorry.
Lose. He's put a loss on the girls. And for the men against Perth, and the score, please.
2-0, boys.
And who's scoring?
City.
Who's scoring? The players.
McLaren, both McLaren.
Both McLaren. There you go, from the caretakers now for himself. So, Joshy's.
Yeah, he's
selected. Oh, head on, Mum. Go.
Yeah, so Josh has picked a 4-0 win to Melbourne City.
Oh. And head on. Mum, your prediction and scoreline for the boys?
2-1.
And who's your scorers?
J-Mac and Metcalf.
There you go.
Oh, corner.
Metcalf. There you go.
And
That
she's-
is
What
really
a
left field.
And she said Bruno scored the other one for Perth. So yeah. So those are the predictions from my parents for the first time here on Sunset City TV.
Welcome on board.
Welcome aboard indeed. So Jack, sorry to interrupt there. So the calculator's final prediction is?
Yeah, so the calculator's picked a 1-all draw. Okay, we've got all the factors. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yep.
Okay. Like I said, my personal selection was 1-0 win to City with Craig Noon scoring the winner.
So
yeah,
So easy one set.
And Josh's
4-0.
4-0.
and his goal scorers.
It's another shower, dude.
Okay.
Just a little bit outside of City news. On the weekend, the Sunset City, this group here, went on a little fishing trip, and we had a good day out on the boat. Let's get the Godfather to explain a little bit more. Godfather,
You don't want to know what I thought about the boat.
Not for
the
this
whole
video.
Day, the whole day.
The day was just amazing. Spending time with my boys, having a bit of fun, fishing, and then heading down to Billy's pub, Billy Brownless's pub, was just amazing. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Your dad was there, Jack, Josh, Newman, Chris was there. It was just amazing. I was the only one without a son there.
I'll be your son.
I'll be your son as well.
Yeah.
So, Chris and Newman, your thoughts on the day besides the fishing bit, of course?
I was the perfect company for the whole day. You know, laughs and all that. It was just a brilliant day.
Fish. Newman?
Don't worry about the fish.
One thing I'll say, Josh was on fire that day.
Yes, he was.
Oh yes.
Just a quick shout out to the caretaker, Michael Henderson, being the smart ass that he is with 5 fishes. And you know who I did a group, but unfortunately, he's bowing down himself right now. Hang on. Do that again. So, he was close to my fish. Jack, 40 years in the making, mate. You were the first one on the boat to catch a fish.
Yeah. Firstly, I just want to say, and don't get me wrong here, Blakey. I just want to thank Chris, Daniel, and Costa, and also my son. Their trip down to Geelong and also coming back wasn't a pleasant one for me, for my own personal reasons. Sorry. So thanks to the guys for pepping up and so forth. So I really appreciate that, guys. The day, I've got to say that that was one of the best days I've had in a long time. Being with you guys, I think that's what makes this group very unique. And I actually used it tonight, and Chris will actually back me up on that when I was talking to somebody that we're trying to actually bring into the Sunset City group. So the last time that I fished, I was 14. I'm 54 this year. So 40 years ago, my son Josh has never fished before, so I don't know what I was going to expect from him. But the one thing that I knew all along was going to be a great day. And thank you guys for making it what it was. I mean, the trip, the laughs, even the dinner at a pub. Like I haven't done that in God knows how long. So you guys, your dad too, Blake, absolutely, he's a beautiful guy. You guys made the day what it was. So thank you.
Yeah, so just want to say, for dinner that night, besides Joshy, we all had fish and chips at Billy's pub. Since we caught one that was the keeper, which caught the fish and chips. That was amazing.
What's that? I caught 2 fish. I had to throw one back. One was the keeper, but I went home with 3 fish.
Yeah, you went home with 3 fish. Thanks to the people on the boat. So I have that. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. It's been the Godfather Con, the Underboss Chris, Soldier Newman, Soldier Josh, Congieri, Jack. I've been One City Santa. Blake Henderson, say hi to your mum for me. Good night.
If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me. lose my mind.